What if the Santa Claus you grew up loving was hiding a secret so explosive it could shatter his Jingle Bell empire? Picture this: Tim Allen, America's gruff-voiced everyman, unmasking decades of simmering feuds with a single jaw-dropping confession. "I truly hated her," pointing a trembling finger at a co-star who dared to cross him. But here's the kicker: the cracks in his family-friendly facade aren't just rumors anymore. They're roaring into the spotlight, with fresh voices like Casey Wilson, hurling accusations that sting harder than a winter wind. Behind the laughter, the luxury cars, and the holiday cheer lies a Hollywood titan teetering on the edge. Is he the misunderstood genius of comedy's old guard, or a relic unraveling under the weight of his own grudges? You won't believe what's brewing beneath the tinsel, and it's about to change everything. Stick around. Let's rewind to Tim Allen's golden era. Back in the 90s, Home Improvement wasn't just a sitcom, it was a Friday night ritual. Families laughed as Tim the Toolman Taylor bumbled through life, turning power tools into punchlines with that iconic grunt. He was the dad next door, lovable and unpolished, a king of prime time who made ABC a fortune. Then came the Santa Claus in 1994, slapping a red suit on him and cementing his status as a holiday hero. Two sequels followed, and his voice as Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story gave him a permanent spot in kids' hearts. From TV to multiplexes, Allen built an empire of laughter and nostalgia. Off-screen, he'd clawed his way back from a 1970s drug trafficking conviction, rebranding himself as the straight-talking, no-nonsense guy America adored. But fast forward to today, and the cracks are showing. His recent bombshell confession about hating a co-star, later revealed to be Patricia Richardson from Home Improvement, has fans reeling. She was his on-screen wife, the yin to his yang, but behind the scenes, it was war. When Disney offered him $2 million an episode for a 9th season, and her just $1 million, she walked. He didn't. The fallout? They haven't spoken since. And that's not all. Whispers of friction with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the teen heartthrob who played Randy, hint at more bad blood. Thomas ditched the show for school, and Allen's snarky comments left a lingering chill. What happened to the warm, fuzzy Tim we knew? Meanwhile, Pamela Anderson's dropping her own bombshells. The original Tool Time girl from Home Improvement, now 56, unleashed a memoir in 2023 that's still making waves. She claims Allen flashed her on her first day, 23 years old, new to the game, and greeted by a 37-year-old star with a robe and a quip, "Now we're even." Allen's denied it flat out, but the allegation sticks like glitter on a red carpet. Her journey's been wild, from Baywatch babe to activist, but this revelation rewrites her early Hollywood days with a darker edge. She's not the only one stirring the pot, though. Casey Wilson, a fresh face on the Santa Claus's pilot, just torched Allen's legacy on her podcast. She called him rude, miserable, a bully, said he wouldn't even look at her between takes. Her kids loved his movies, but she left that set vowing never again. The contrast is stark. Allen, once the king of cozy comedy, now painted as a tyrant on his own turf. How does a guy who built a career on relatability fall so far in the eyes of those who've worked with him? Stick around, because the next twist might just flip the script entirely. These stars aren't just battling headlines. They're wrestling with their pasts and presents in ways that hit hard. Allen's empire once seemed untouchable, but these confessions reveal a man whose gruff charm might have masked a tougher reality. Richardson, now 73, stepped away from the spotlight after Home Improvement, nursing that resentment over unequal pay. Thomas, once a teen idol, faded from fame. His exit from Allen's orbit a quiet rebellion. Anderson's fought to redefine herself beyond the blonde bombshell, and Wilson's rising star status makes her clash with Allen a bold stand. Their stories weave a tapestry of struggle and defiance, proving Hollywood's glitter hides some serious grit. Ever wonder what keeps these legends ticking through the chaos? The answer's coming, and it's wilder than you think. Allen's not alone in this storm. The echoes of his drama ripple across these celebs, each facing their own reckonings. This isn't just gossip. It's a front-row seat to human resilience. Allen's admission, Anderson's courage, Wilson's clapback. They're not just headlines, they're chapters in a saga of reinvention. From sitcom sets to podcast mics, these stars remind us their impact? Undeniable. Allen's still got the Santa Clauses chugging along, but the shadows linger. The rest? They're carving new paths, proving the past doesn't define the future. Curious how they'll navigate what's next. The clues are in their scars, and the spotlight's only getting hotter. Now let's zoom in on Tim Allen's financial empire and luxurious lifestyle, because this man's journey from a troubled past to Hollywood royalty is a masterclass in wealth. And a few cautionary tales. Ever wonder how a guy who once faced jail time ends up with a garage full of high-octane toys? Allen's a car fanatic, and his collection's the stuff of dreams. He's owned classics like a 1968 Ford Bronco, a nod to his rugged toolman roots, and a sleek Porsche Carrera GT that screams Hollywood elite. Think $450,000 worth of horsepower. These days, he's cruising in a 2022 Ford GT, a $500,000 beast that blends nostalgia with cutting-edge tech. His wrist game's just as strong. Spot him with a Rolex Daytona, a $40,000 timepiece that's all about precision and prestige, or a Patek Philippe Nautilus, pushing $60,000, proving he's not afraid to flex subtly but expensively. Allen didn't stay quiet forever. In a 2023 radio interview, he smirked, "Comedy's war. Not everyone survives." Then the kicker, did I hate some of them? Yes, I truly hated one of them. She almost got me fired. No names, but the arrow points straight to Wilson. After her podcast rant, execs side-eyed him for weeks, weighing whether to cut the star of his own show over a newbie's complaint. He kept his gig, but the set turned suffocating. Guest stars tense, crew whispering. Wilson fired back. War? It was a Christmas show. If they'd fired him, it'd be his fault. Her past sparkled with indie gems and comedy cred. Now she's a voice calling out the old guard. Allen's clinging to his legacy, but at what price? The fallout's juicy, and it's not over yet. Their paths tell a tale of grit and reinvention. Allen's new sitcom, Shifting Gears, casts him as a stubborn car shop owner clashing with his daughter, Kat Dennings. It's a hit with fans craving his classic vibe, but critics call it safe, a relic of his glory days. Wilson's thriving, her podcast's a hotspot, and indie films keep her star rising. She's got no grudge, just won't work with him again. Compare that to Allen's Toy Story highs or Santa Claus reigns. His presence a mixed bag, adored by some, doubted by others. Was his old-school toughness genius or a mask for something pricklier? The debate's raging, and you'll want to hear the final twist. Now let's zoom into Casey Wilson's financial glow-up, because this rising star's lifestyle is a masterclass in hustle and heart. Ever wondered how a comedy queen builds her fortune? Wilson's net worth started small. Think $50,000 in her SNL days around 2005. By Happy Endings in 2011, she was pulling $20,000 per episode, nudging her to $500,000. Smart moves piled up. Indie films, guest spots, and writing gigs like Bride Wars, co-written with a $1 million payday split. Today, she's sitting at $4 million per 2025 estimates, with her Sesh podcast raking in $10,000 monthly from ads and Patreon. Insurance. She's got health and asset coverage, $1 million home policy, plus career protection from her SAG-AFTRA days. Smart, not splashy. Her journey's a glow-up with lessons. Early gigs paid rent. Now, diversified income, acting, writing, podcasting, keeps her steady. She splurges on passion, that Mercedes, but saves smart, no jet hanger. Compare her SNL hustle to today's multi-hyphenate grind. She's proof consistency pays. Future's bright if she scales Sesh or snags a directing gig. Advice? Bet on yourself, mix income streams, and don't burn bridges. Her Tim Allen spat didn't tank her, it fueled her. Curious where this savvy star lands next. Her wallet's talking and it's saying, "Watch me soar."